What's up everybody, it's Renty here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Guardian Angel of Rainbow Six, Glaz. So let's get into it. As per usual, I'll start with the loadout. So you have the OTS, which is a sniper rifle. It's a 2-shot in the body and a 1-shot in the head, no matter what attachment you put on. As for the sights, it's really personal. I've tried all three and I prefer the first one, and I encourage you guys to try all three. And the barrel attachments don't really matter all that much. A 1-shot will stay a 1-shot and a 2-shot will stay a 2-shot, unless you're shooting at Rook or Doc with armor at long range. Then the silencer will actually hurt you. I go with the flash hider because sometimes it's going to make a difference, but honestly, if you like the silencer, go ahead and take it. It's a great attachment. In the sidearm category, you have the GSH and you have the PMM. Now, as per usual, one has more damage and one has more capacity, and as per usual, I prefer the one with more capacity. Now, I would recommend using a silencer because you're going to be taking out cameras and batteries and stuff like that with it, and so having a silencer would make a lot of sense. I just play way too aggressive to even care to put a silencer on there. In the gadget category, you have the smoke grenades and the breaching charges. Now, it really depends on what your playstyle is. If you have a very slow-paced playstyle, you should go for the smoke grenades because you're often going to find yourself in clutch situations, and so the smoke grenades are going to help you to single out the enemies. And if you play a more aggressive style like I do, go for the breaching charges, because that way, if you have a Thatcher or a Twitch in your team, they can take stun grenades, which are a lot more important than your smoke grenades. Now, I'm not saying that smoke grenades are bad. I'm just saying that unless you have a specific plan, they're not going to be that useful. And to finish out the loadout, you have medium armor and medium speed, which makes Glaz a lot more versatile than most people think. Glaz's special ability is his red scope. It's basically a long-range optic that magnifies the scope that you already have. The colors on that scope are red shifted, which is going to help you a lot if it's daytime and you're looking inside a building. The first misconception that I'd like to talk about is the scope. A lot of people think that the scope should only be used outside, but honestly, I've had so much success using the scope in close quarter. It's hard to put my finger on the reason, but I think it's because there is no hesitation. Even if the room is super dark, I still see exactly where the enemy is, and I know exactly where the head is, so it's really easy to get headshots, even though you don't really need them. The second misconception that I'd like to talk about is that Glaz is only good in long range. That simply isn't true. I mean, for sure Glaz is the best at long range, but he has a lot of potential even at close range, and that's largely due to the fact that you can remove the scope and then you have a red dot, and then at that point you have a 2-shot kill weapon. And honestly, this might all sound crazy to you, but you need to try it by yourself. You know, before I started getting footage for this video, I really thought that Glaz was a useless operator because I thought his usefulness was only at the beginning of the round to protect the whole team. But no, he's actually a pretty strong fighter and a very fun operator to play. There's nothing more satisfying in this game than popping ahead with the scope on. Alright, so at the beginning of the video, I said that he is the Guardian Angel of Rainbow Six. And the reason I said that is because at the beginning of the round, Glaz's role is to make sure that everyone makes it to the building alive by shooting out the spawn killers. Now, making sure that your team is safe is very important, but what's even better is to kill the spawn killers. And the way you do this is to make Glaz peek first. Basically, as Glaz, you need to run as fast as you can and take a look at the window, because if the first guy to peek is someone else, he's gonna start firing and the guy at the window is going to just back off. You want the kill, you don't want him to back off. So when playing Glaz, tell your friend to not send any warning shots. You want to be the first one to shoot, and that's most likely gonna be a kill. After that's done, I use Glaz as a window peeker. Basically, with the scope on, especially in daytime, he is the best window peeker in the entire game because the scope makes it so clear what's inside the building, and usually that first shot is unforgiving. And like I said, I've done surprisingly well peeking windows with him. Especially with the state of the servers right now, I don't even think they see me before I kill them. I know it's very counterintuitive, but having Glaz repelling a window and looking inside the building, going left and right very quickly, is effectively locking the entire room from the enemies, which makes him a very good bomb defender, or should I say diffuser defender. Another reason to play him in a more aggressive role would be his breaching charges. Basically, if you're the one carrying breaching charges for your team instead of a Thatcher or a Twitch, they can then afford to take stun grenades, and that's going to help your team a lot more than the ability to try and clutch around with smoke grenades. So by playing aggressively with breaching charges, you're taking one for the team. However, if you're playing on console, this playstyle is very hard to do, so I would recommend staying at long range and supporting your team from a high ground. And if you do that, you should take smoke grenades because you're often going to find yourself in clutch situations, which is like 1v3, 1v4, and in those situations, the smoke grenades are going to help you a lot more than the breaching charges. I would like to point out that the OTS is really good at taking out walls. Like most of the time when you shoot wood, it's just going to shred everywhere. And so that's why I love to spam wooden walls. Oh, and by the way, the OTS bullets go through castles barricades and the windows of the plane. So keep that in mind next time you play Glaz. Glaz. The effectiveness of Glaz depends a lot on his positioning, and so that's why you need to focus on that part of your gameplay. For example, this spot is absolutely amazing. No one's going to expect you there, and you're gonna have free headshots over free headshots. So if you don't like Glaz at first, just keep playing him and try to learn where are the good spots. As soon as your positioning will be down, your effectiveness will follow. Alright guys, I covered everything I wanted to talk about. So in conclusion, when playing Glaz, your role is to make sure that everyone makes it alive to the building, and make sure to tell all of your friends to not shoot that spawn killer. You want to be the one shooting to make sure he dies. After that, get in a good spot and play very aggressive with your scope on, and start picking off targets that are out of position. While this is all happening, tell your team to plant the bomb, or capture the objective, or pick up the hostage in a good position where you could repel. And from there, it's a straightforward win, because it's very hard to dig out Glaz when he's in a good position. Alright guys, I really hope I changed your mind on Glaz, and honestly, just try him. It's super satisfying to play. So again, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you soon. The only way to go around this bug is as soon as you see an enemy falling down, you need to stop shooting and you need to wait until the animation is fully finished. It's honestly really annoying, but it's going to make your trigger discipline really good. It's actually good practice. However, if you're playing casual or, with people you don't know, a good rule of thumb is to have 2 roamers. So if you see Jaeger and Bandit roaming, then stay on the sites because they have priority over you, since you can be a very useful defender and they can't.